guys, it's Sam, and this is my spoiler-free review of Illuminae by Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. I picked up an arc of this at BEA 2015. Illuminae, as you probably already know, is what happens after an alien invasion takes place, and it is told through a case file type format. So what this means is, although this is a hunky looking book, it is actually really quick to read because it is told through emails, case files, transcripts, stuff like that, so it's not very hard to read quickly because it goes really fast based on the format. So first let me say that I was really skeptical about this book. As I said, I picked this up at BEA this year and I did not hear anything about it and it sounded really weird. I wasn't sure how I was going to connect to the format. I'm not a fan, typically speaking, of those kinds of formats of emails or IMs or stuff. I really avoid that in all my fiction if I hear about it. So I wasn't sure, but then I started hearing the hype around it and people were saying how good it was that I wanted to give it a shot, but I went in pretty much completely blind. So if you are planning on reading this book, I highly recommend doing that because I think any kind of talking about it, watching even this video, is just too much. Just go in completely blind and see how you feel about it. With that being said, let me talk about the world building. I thought the world building was extremely well done in this story. I was very much able to picture where we were, what was happening, all of the action, and there was a ton of it. I was able to picture as if it was a movie. I feel like this book really read almost like a movie script. I could see it plain as day, and I cannot wait for this to be adapted. Supposedly this has already been picked up and it's going to be turned into a movie. I really hope that happens soon because this read exactly like a film and I think it could be done so well, so easily translated, and I absolutely love that about it. This is science fiction, but it isn't super high science fiction where you're going to be confused or anything. Some science fiction, even some of the more fun science fiction, I can get a little bit bogged down in, but this I had no problem, and it doesn't even really read as young adult. This is very dark at times, and it does not read like young adult in my opinion at all. Next, let me talk about the characters. I, again, didn't think I was going to be able to connect to the characters. I was like, this is going to be told in a weird format, I'm not going to be in their heads, I'm not going to understand, but no, you actually kind of are in their heads based on these different transmissions and stuff, and I felt so much for the main characters, and not even the main characters, but even side characters. So you'll get certain things written up from different side characters that are involved, and you feel for them, even if they're just like one-off shown very briefly, you genuinely feel for their situations. And you don't even get that much from them. It's not even as much as you would get necessarily in like a regular book, but it was done so well so that you really did feel for all these people and you just feel like you're watching their lives unfold, and it is so heartbreaking at times. Like I said, this book can be incredibly dark, and I felt for every single side character, honestly. And like I've said this before in my wrap-up that I cried multiple times in this story because of how much I felt for all the different characters and what was going on and how horrific some of the situations were and what was happening. So if you are doubting that you can get connected to the story based on the format, please don't. I am not a huge crier by any means in any story. It takes a lot for me, and I was actually like tears falling down my face crying. Minimum 3 times. I know I at least welled up at least 5 times. So that's really saying something about how the story is and how it conveys the emotions and your attachment to the characters. Lastly, the plot. This plot is super fast-paced. I think this goes without saying. It's a very fast-paced plot. Everything is constantly twisting and turning and things that you don't expect, and there's always something new coming up, and the characters go through so much, and it's crazy. Like I said, I didn't think that could be conveyed through this format, and it absolutely was. It read like a movie. It read super fast-paced. I could see it all in my head. I could like hear music in my head playing along with it and how like epic it was. So absolutely fast-paced, edge of my seat, done so well. And it's just so beautiful too, the way this is written, as far as like the pictures and just how well put together this book is. I am completely blown away by that. So I obviously gave Illuminae 5 out of 5 stars. I'm going to be doing a spoiler-filled gush video on this as well to talk about some of my feelings and some of my theories and stuff like that. So if you have read the book, go ahead and check that out. I will link it down below as well as on the screen. So that is it for my spoiler-free review. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of Illuminae. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you guys soon. Bye!